Nobody believes this, but it's true. It really happened to me. It was actually the basis of the book that I wrote, my first book, which is called Teach Me the Universe. So what happened to me? I lived in the United States for a while, and me and a friend of mine, we decided to go on a road trip to New Mexico and Arizona. And my friend, she wanted to see Roswell. So Roswell is the city where an alleged UFO landed, found ETs, etc., etc. So she really wanted to go there. We flew to Albuquerque in New Mexico, and then we rented a car and we planned on like going to see all these different places in New Mexico and Arizona. We get there, we get a paper map, because at this time we did not have applications. So we get the paper map, we get in the car. The first stop that we planned was Roswell. We follow the map, and it shows us that there's one single road to go from where we were to Roswell. So we take the road. But as we take it, we don't see any car, nobody. We did not see any habitation, any house, nothing, no store, nothing. So one single road going straight in the desert. At some point, like it was becoming very windy, and my friend is like, something is weird with this cloud. And I turn around, I'm like, it's not a cloud, it's a tornado. I was driving. I was going so fast, and the tornado was actually coming towards us. With the wind was so strong that I turned my wheel like all the way towards the tornado, and I was jumping on my seat in order to try to, because the wind was making the car like go up. I drive really fast. Actually, the tornado just like goes on the opposite direction, so the wind becomes less and less strong. We find a second tornado. So we were just like yelling and crying in the car while I was driving. We finally arrive in Roswell, safe and sound. But as we arrive, everybody gathers around the car, and people are like, you girls are crazy. This is the tornado alley. Nobody uses this road. It's very dangerous. We're like, yeah, we saw that. We didn't even think at that point, like, that's weird that, you know, we only had like this one road to come there. And so we were really relieved being alive. We go to this restaurant, we get something to eat, and on this avenue that we got in, so it was like Tornado Alley, and as we were entering in Roswell, it became like this big main street with restaurants, souvenir shops, and museums. Like, that's it on the whole street. After eating, we decide to take a look at the different stores and museums. And as we start walking, people start following us. It was a little bit weird. At first, we thought that it was because I'm Black and my friend, she's Japanese. We figured that these people, like, maybe they don't see a lot of strangers around there. We were a little bit scared, but it was just weird. And people started like following us in their cars. So they were going very slow because we were walking, me and my friend, we were walking on the sidewalk. And these people in their car, they were just watching us, not even watching the road, watching us and moving very, very slowly. So for the first few cars doing that, usually it creates traffic, and so people behind start honking, right? In a normal situation, didn't happen. Nobody honked. Everybody was just following us and looking at us from like even the cars that were very, very far behind. We get into a store, and I thought that my friend did not understand what was going on. She was just like looking at stuff in the store. And as like we were in the store owner also starts to look at us weirdly. I get close to my friend and I'm like, I don't feel good. I don't feel comfortable here. And she's like, oh my God, me too. I didn't want to say anything, but I'm so scared. Please, let's go. Let's move. Let's leave this city. People are just too weird. So we leave the store immediately. We go back outside and we start almost running to get back to the car. People were still following us. The cars would make U-turn to keep following it, which was really scary. There was keeping a slow pace, but at the same time still following us. I mean, it was less scary than if people started running behind us, but still scary. So we get in the car, and obviously we were not going to go back towards Tornado Alley. We were still on this main street. So I turned left on the first street that I saw from this main street. But the street that was right behind this main street was full of abandoned buildings. They were abandoned, like nobody lived there. Nobody. It was impossible. You would see it from the outside. The buildings were in ruins. They were at the edge of collapsing. Nobody could live there. Nobody lived there. I'm sure. Impossible. But after this main street, the desert. I go back. I cross the main street on the opposite side and go right from my original point. Same thing on the other side. One street behind this main street, one street of abandoned buildings, and then the desert. So we go back on the main street and we go the opposite way of Tornado Alley. This street was continuing and it was becoming a road which was following a mountain going down. There were no lights. It was only the car lights that were enabling us to see, because at that point it was starting to be dark. I drove for 4 hours before we found the next city. We didn't see any car. There was no car behind us. There was no car in front of us. We didn't see anybody. There was no lights. There was just this weird wind, and we were scared. So even the trees to me were scary at that point. But anyways, we get into the city. We were relieved to be there, and I'm telling my friend, what I don't understand is that all these people, all the people that we saw in Roswell, they had cars, they were walking in these restaurants, in these museums, in these souvenir shops. Like, where do they live? Where's their house? They cannot live there because we saw that there were just abandoned buildings, and then it was the desert. They could not go the road that was Tornado Alley because themselves said that it was very dangerous and nobody was using this road anymore. The only road left was the one that we took, and we did not see any car. The nearest city was like 4 hours away. Where did these people live? It was very traumatic. We could not understand or make sense of a lot of things. Actually, when I came out with the book, my friend, when she read it, it was awakening too many things that she did not want to remember. And when I actually published this book, I was doing the promotion and talking about it on social media, on Instagram. And this woman contacts me. She's like, oh, cool, you wrote a book about Roswell. She's like, so cool, I live in Roswell. That's my city. I'm like, okay. And I was like, girl, your city is weird. She was like, wait, what do you mean? I told her, where do you guys live? She was like, in Roswell. I'm like, no. I've seen your abandoned buildings. I have been there. She's like, I live there. I'm from there. Like, I can tell you, we have apartment buildings, we have houses, we have... And I was like, At that point, I went on Google Maps, but I was searching for proofs. I was searching for evidence of what I experienced. So I went on Google Maps and I took out this map of Roswell, and the map that came out was not the city where we were. It was not the same city. The city that I saw from Google Maps was a developed city. many streets and many ways to go back and forth from Roswell. I don't know where we were. I don't know. I don't know where we were. And all this is also shared in my book, Teach Me the Universe. But I do not know where we were. After a while, it made me think of all these stories about other time dimensions because of something that happened in nature. Would it be a very strong wind? Would it be like a storm or something like that that would project people into another dimension or into another time? I don't know. I actually to this day, I still don't know, but it's a possibility. Yes, I was not in Roswell. We were not in the city of Roswell as it is known today. I have no idea where we were.